Transfemme is a project about preventing men's violence against trans women.
Transgender women, transfemme people have a much higher risk of violence from cis men. We have to talk about what is driving this violence and how do we address it, how do we prevent it from happening in the future.
As a trans woman of colour from a cultural background, there was not a resource out there that simply looked at our own challenges and our own issues.
Transfemme is a world-first set of resources for trans women who are dating men, cisgendered men who are dating trans women, and for friends, family and community to support those relationships.
When you're constantly experiencing sort of discrimination and violence, it can be really hard to know what a healthy relationship looks like. Transfemme as a resource protects trans women from experiencing violence, and it says this behaviour is not okay. You deserve to be loved, you deserve to be respected.
The binary that we have around gender and sexuality is so rigid, and so men tend to question their own sexuality, their own masculinity, if they do have attraction to trans women, and that's where some of the driving forces can come for violence towards trans women.
Really, it's the stigmatisation of our relationships that plays a really big role. Attraction to us is still seen as a shameful, taboo thing.
The resources for men are really important because many of those cis men feel really isolated. Yes, some of those men can be perpetrators of violence, but they can also be experiencing violence and discrimination themselves because of their attraction or relationships with trans women. And so trans women are much more likely to, experience intimate partner violence.
A lot of times we come up against people who go, wow, this works really great, but I don't know anyone that dates trans women. The relationships between trans women and men are much more common than people think.
When trans women can't access public relationships that are open and accepted by the community, these relationships tend to happen behind closed doors. They happen in secrecy, and that's where violence can really escalate.
If people's family and friends were supportive of men's attraction and relationships towards trans women, the violence towards us would dramatically drop. We really need prevention of violence services and campaigns to start including messaging about ending men's violence against trans women with the same messages of ending men's violence against cisgender women.
We would like prevention of violence services to listen to trans women, centre trans women, include trans women, employ trans women. It's time that we're not just demanding for answers, and it's time that everyone's demanding for answers.
Trans and gender diverse people exist in all cultures, and so sometimes there can be cultural sensitivities, but that shouldn't stop you including trans women of colour.
We all have a role in ending men's violence against trans women.
Trans women and cis women, all women, can end violence towards women together.
Preventing violence against trans women really means humanising the trans experience so we can be seen as whole people.
The Transfemme resources save lives, and with further funding, we can save more lives.